Hey everybody, welcome to Cocktail Hour with Ryan. Tonight we're going to be making an old fashioned. Now there's a lot of different ways you can make old fashions. You can have sugar, you can't have sugar, you can have a cherry, whatever. There's a plethora of different ways you can make an old fashioned. Tonight we're going to be making a bourbon old fashioned, and we're going to be using orange and bitters. But first, let's use good hygiene and wash your hands. Just gotta count to 20 or whatever the songs are. Make sure you get in between the fingers there. Well, once your hands are clean, the first thing you're going to need is a glass. Now this is a cocktail heavy glass. I like heavier glasses, but use whatever you prefer. Second, we're going to need sugar cubes and bitters. You can either use cherry bitters or just regular aromatic bitters. I like the aromatic bitters. Cherry bitters, I mean, if you don't have cherry and you like cherry, that can be a great substitute. But first things first is, depending on how sweet you want your drink, it'll depend on how many sugar cubes you put in. I don't like mine super sweet, but I do like a little kick. So I put 1 sugar cube in, and then I'm gonna put 3 dashes of bitters, okay? Ooh. And get it all over your hand, because that's basically what you have to do in order to have a delicious drink. Is sometimes you gotta sacrifice your hand. And you're gonna get a muddler. Now, before you start muddling, this is what most people do, is it does have, it has some of the bitters in it that'll act as a way of kind of mushing it up. But what I like to use is purified water, just a splash of purified water. So we're gonna get a splash of purified water. And I did not have this prepared, so apologies on that. But yeah, so what you're gonna wanna do is just a little splash. So like that, that's good, okay? And then you're gonna take your muddler, push it down into it. And basically what you want to start creating here is somewhat of a syrupy mix. Now, depending on how much bitters you put in, it's gonna change the viscosity of the liquid. So you just want to mix. I mean, it's not gonna totally mix, but basically that's what you're looking for, okay? And then after that, you're gonna wanna pull out these things. Now I like mine a little chilled, so I'm gonna use a tumbler to chill it. So what I'll do is I'll take some of my whiskey, and I usually am using about 2 ounces. So just put a little bit of whiskey in there. Okay. And then what you want to do with this, fill it with ice. I was really not prepared. You got the ice. So, just 3 ice cubes, 1, 2, 3, okay? And you want to pour your whiskey in there, and just shake. Okay, that's good. Get it out of there. Oh, there you go. All right. Now, before you add the whiskey to this, put a big ice cube in there. And so I got this like little tray, rubber tray Put an ice cube in there. It's got a big ice cube. And then you're gonna put your strainer. Let's take it, straight it over. Okay. And now take your bar spoon, stir it together so you get that sugar incorporated into the rest of the drink. And then the last thing you need to do is add that zest. And so for that, we're gonna utilize an orange. Utilize an orange and listen to some John Denver. So what I like to do is just get the zest of the orange. Doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, mine's not gonna look perfect. But you do want some of the skin on there. And then I just like to score it a little bit. Helps get the juices out. And then what I'm doing is I'm holding it over the drink and I'm squeezing this out. And then once I've squeezed it out over the drink, I'm gonna cover the rim in it. So every time that you drink, you get a little bit of that orange zest. And you just put it in there. And that's how you make an old fashioned. Now you can add cherries and stuff to it, but it's more of a decoration. But if that's what you want, go right ahead. But anyway, cheers guys. Perfect.